Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another Shaymin reaction as we get ready for June 20th edition of Monday Night Raw. So, obviously, if you want to see my predictions, my results and my thoughts on Money in the Bank, go back and check out that episode that I posted yesterday. But we kick things off with, of course, the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Dean Ambrose, and of course, this causes Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins to come out and ask for their rematch clauses, which brings us to Shane O'Mac getting us Seth and Roman tonight, again, in the main event. While the match tonight wasn't as good as Money in the Bank, I'm not honestly a fan of rehashing the same match 2 days in a row. Even if it's a good match, that's a pay-per-view match that you just did. Like maybe if it was next week on Raw or on SmackDown or something. But we just had this yesterday, this same match. So I'm a little bit disappointed about that. Maybe it's just me being nitpicky, but whatever. This brings us to the first match of the evening, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, which was a really solid match. There were some entertaining spots inside and outside the ring, ultimately ending up with Sami Zayn getting a roll-up pin on Kevin Owens, which brings Kevin Owens to attack Sami Zayn after the match, which was absolutely terrific. It was absolutely spot on, in my opinion. They could not have done this any better. Sami Zayn gets beaten the ever-living crap out of him. Then he gets up as the referees try and pull each other off, and they do the whole thing, but it goes backstage. They continue to fight each other for a good 5 to 6 more minutes, and it was really intense. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at Battleground was most likely going to happen. It's not confirmed or anything, but based on that, I would count on Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at Battleground. Then we have Mr. John Laurinaitis come out, which was awesome because I've been waiting for him to come back, even if it's just for one tiny little segment like it was today. But John Laurinaitis was entertaining. I liked a lot of the things that they did with Big Johnny. So obviously he's not going to be the new general manager or anything, but thought it was an interesting segment. And then Enzo and Cass come out and just roast Mr. John Laryngitis, and they have a really quick match versus the Vaudevillains, and as I've said in previous reviews, I am a big fan of the Vaudevillains, and I'm seeing the Ascension treatment coming really soon. And I honestly think tonight could very well be the beginning of it, as they were just dispensed quickly by Enzo and Cass, and ultimately they got beat relatively quickly. Wasn't really even a long or good match. It was just kind of, you go to the bathroom, come back, it's over, type of thing. So, but then AJ Styles comes out, which this was an interesting segment because he came out and demanded an apology. And I was getting the heelish vibe from this whole apology thing, so I kind of was just like, okay, we'll see where this goes. And Cena and Styles have a little bit of banter, which was really good in my opinion. And Styles plays the heel really well, which we get John Cena versus Carl Anderson, and right as Cena's about to win the match after the Attitude Adjustment, Anderson gets saved by Styles and Gallows, and they beat John Cena up. Absolutely. It wasn't anything special, but it wasn't a bad segment by any means. We're going to continue to see kind of this Cena and the club storyline continue to go a little bit longer. we get a pair of backstage segments where Seth Rollins had a pretty good, solid backstage segment, which is something I've been noticing. A lot of backstage segments, not all of them, but a lot of them in the last number of weeks have been very good backstage segments. Like, even if they're short and they're just kind of banter or they're actually, kind of serious promos, they're really good. The last number of weeks, it's been kind of consistent. And then we have Becky Lynch after that, gets attacked by Natalya as she's trying to tell Renee that she doesn't care why Natalya did it. She doesn't know why, but she's going to go out there and do whatever she can. And, Natalya goes and beats the living crap out of her. Next, we have Baron Corbin beats Zack Ryder. Versus Zack Ryder. As someone who's been a fan of Zack Ryder since he was with Kurt Hawkins and Edge and the family and all that, I'm so disappointed at his downfall since WrestleMania. Not to say that I didn't see it coming, but it's funny too because Baron Corbin comes out and they pan over to Zack Ryder, and I write down on my little sheet to let me know what matches there are, I put Corbin beats Zack Ryder. Didn't even say versus. All the other ones say versus first. Even the Cena one. But this one, see Zack Ryder, Ryder lost. It's just, it's really depressing as a Zack Ryder fan to see this kind of thing happen to him. After we get back from break, we get this Wyatt family kind of video package as we are informed that they are coming back tonight, which I was really excited at that point because I've been missing the Wyatt family in my my Raw viewings lately. I really need some Wyatt family on Raw. But one thing that I really hope is that Bray Wyatt gets used properly this time, because by God, he's been used so badly recently. In the last number of years, actually. Bray Wyatt is the glorified jobber. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Ziggler is kind of similar to Bray Wyatt, because they build them both up. They're both really great competitors who have done so much in WWE, or a force to be reckoned with, and they both lose all the time. And, whenever they have someone they need to get a huge push and need a big win, they go for Ziggler or they go for Bray Wyatt. It's almost always one of those two. My hope is that Bray Wyatt gets something here. So then we get on to the Women's Championship match between Paige and Charlotte, which Charlotte obviously picks up the victory. Another 5-minute match, unfortunately. But thank God, Sasha Banks makes her way down to the ring, helps Paige out, grabs the Women's Championship, holds it over her head, and hopefully Sasha Banks will be the next WWE Women's Champion, because the fact of the matter is the women's division right now is terrible. They need some sort of push. Because the fact of the matter is Charlotte is not a very good wrestler. She doesn't sell moves very easily. She doesn't really seem like she knows what she's doing in the ring most of the time, and it's really, really bad to watch. And we've had 4 or 5 minutes total of women's screen time in the last couple of weeks on each show. So it's really, really not good. And Sasha Banks has been known for having some tremendous matches. So I'm really hoping that Sasha Banks can take the title off of her and we can move on to a better kind of era with a new women's champion. So the Wyatts come out and they're starting to talk about how they've returned and how they don't know, they remember what they stand for, and then the New Day come out, and this was an interesting segment because I didn't expect the New Day to be possibly, or at least teasing, a feud with the Wyatts. Now, I've wanted a Wyatt family tag team reign for a while, but I've wanted Luke and Eric. Luke Harper, Eric Rowan. Those two guys need the tag team reign. Braun Strowman does not. He could stay over there. But Luke Harper and Eric Rowan need the title reign. But the fact of the matter is, Luke Harper is still not cleared from injury. And so if the New Day lose the titles, it'll be most likely to Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman, which would be kind of disappointing. But I find it interesting because the Bray Wyatt said New Day falls, right? And it was so... just the crowd reaction to that was so perfect because not everybody said New Day falls, but just enough people to where you get this eerie reaction, like, and they said it so kind of monotone too. Honestly, I really liked that part because it made it seem like Bray Wyatt had the control over his followers type thing, and it was really kind of a cool reaction to when he did that. So then we get Rusev versus Titus O'Neil, and Titus O'Neil came out and he wrecked Rusev's shit. It was absolutely a terrific beatdown by Titus O'Neil on Rusev. I would never disrespect that dude ever, especially after watching that beatdown that he gave Rusev. He was absolutely vicious. One of the things, though, that this makes me think of is that Titus O'Neil would be so much better as a heel, and a heel that's used much better than the first time he was a heel, where they ended up throwing him into Slater Gator, which was absolutely terrible. And anyway, then we get The Miz on the little Facebook thing. As by the way, the Intercontinental Championship still exists. I love Miz as a heel. In fact, he is one of my favorite heels of all time. But the fact that he's not here is killing it a little bit. Like, I need him to be here. The Miz is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I am a huge fan of The Miz and have been for a long time. But he needs to be here doing his thing. Then we get Jericho and Shane O'Mac in the backstage segment, which was kind of interesting. Shane O'Mac said that he's going to control both brands, which is not going to happen by any means. That wouldn't make any sense. Like, if you think about this, you got the SmackDown podium and the Raw podium, right? You have Shane McMahon say, I draft this dude to SmackDown. Then he runs over to Raw. I draft this dude to Raw. Runs back over to SmackDown. That would be stupid. So there's no way he's going to control both. That would just be dumb. And then we have our final match, the number one contendership match between Reigns and Rollins, which was a solid match. Not as good as their one last night, which was a really, really good match. And Dean Ambrose. What more is there to say? Dean Ambrose is absolutely nailing his role. He says, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go for the triple threat right now. Let's do it. We're going to go triple threat. How about that? And Shane O'Mac says, sure thing. Battleground triple threat versus the former Shield members. And it's all set. So thank you all for watching my review and reactions to Monday Night Raw. Make sure you click that like button and hit that subscribe button for future content. I would like to quickly apologize for not making any Heart Gold Randomizer Nuzlocke episodes, as that's going to be my next project. They will start coming out tomorrow.